Welcome to our channel. Today, we continue our journey through Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. If you missed the previous video on chapters 42 and 43, be sure to check it out. Now, let's dive back into 19th century England and high society. You are listening to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. In chapter 44, Mr. Darcy's Confession, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy continue their tour of Pemberley and visit the grounds. During this time, Mr. Darcy musters the courage to apologize to Elizabeth for his past behavior. He confesses to having interfered in her relationship with Mr. Bingley and causing him to leave Netherfield. Mr. Darcy acknowledges that he did so out of pride and disapproval of her family. He also admits to spreading false rumors about Mr. Wickham to prevent a potential relationship between him and Elizabeth. Mr. Darcy's apology comes as a surprise to Elizabeth, and she is hesitant to forgive him at first. However, she sees him differently as she listens to his explanation and understands the reasons behind his actions. She realizes that his pride is rooted in his concern for his friend's well-being and his family's reputation, and that his past behavior was not motivated by cruelty or a lack of affection. Elizabeth expresses her gratitude for Mr. Darcy's honesty, and they converse about the events that have transpired. They both acknowledge that their opinions of each other have changed, and Elizabeth expresses her regret for having misjudged Mr. Darcy. Ultimately, the two of them come to a mutual understanding, and the prospect of a relationship between them seems more likely. In chapter 45, Elizabeth finally confesses her true feelings to Mr. Darcy. After much contemplation and reflecting upon her past actions and opinions, she realizes she has been wrong about Mr. Darcy. She admits that her opinions of him were based on misinformation and that others' opinions and her pride influenced her. Elizabeth acknowledges her mistake and apologizes to Mr. Darcy, revealing that she understands his true character and now appreciates his noble and generous nature. Throughout the chapter, Elizabeth reflects on how her pride and prejudice clouded her judgment, and she realizes that her feelings for Mr. Darcy are much stronger than initially thought. She reflects on how she has changed and how her views on Mr. Darcy have evolved. Finally, Elizabeth confesses to Mr. Darcy that she loves him and is ashamed of her past behavior. Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy struggle to understand and appreciate each other throughout the novel, but in this chapter, they finally understand. Mr. Darcy forgives Elizabeth, and they confess their love for each other. This marks a turning point in their relationship, and they can now move forward and build a future together. The chapter highlights the power of self-reflection, forgiveness, and the ability to change one's opinions and perspectives. Thank you for joining us for this summary of Pride and Prejudice, chapters 44 and 45. Stay tuned for more twists and turns in this beloved classic. Don't forget to subscribe for updates, and if you need a copy of the book, check the link in the description. Get ready to fall in love with Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy all over again. See you in our next video.